Hey, what's up guys? So today we're going to be checking out the top 4 decks from the Asia Championship that took place not too long ago, and we're going to be talking about the meta game as far as in the OCG and in the TCG. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So the deck that took first place was a Star Seraph Stellar Knight deck, which makes me a little bit sad because I thought the Shaddolls would be there for sure. They're still in the top 4, but the deck that took first place was the Star Seraph Stellar Knights. And if you're unfamiliar with the archetype, don't worry, we'll briefly talk about the archetype in just a moment. But I'm going to go through the top 4 really quick, and then we'll talk about the cards after. So if you want to pause this at any point and you want to test out the deck, get the deck list yourself, you can go ahead and do so. This was actually provided from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Edition Singapore, but the other deck that was in here was a Shaddol deck that also ran the Star Seraphs. The Star Seraphs are crazy. I'll briefly show you what they're running. But there's also Pot of Avarice and the OCG, so that helps Shaddolls out quite a bit. And there's also another Stellar Knight Star Seraph deck. And then over here we have a Mythic Ruler. And I was looking at this, I'm like, Dueling Dragon at 3. That's a pretty good thing to have. Also, P.O Drago can shut down both decks if it can get pulled off. But it adds a stun aspect to it. And like I said, the source over here, Yu-Gi-Oh! Edition Singapore. Gotta give credit for them for providing me with this list. Also, what's really insane is Honest in the OCG was at 2. And I was like, whoa, well, I thought that was a typo over there, which is an insane card. So now that we know what was the top 4, let's go ahead and talk about what basically makes these decks so good. So if you guys didn't know, Midrash basically wrecks the game, and another card actually wrecks the game in the TCG, especially with the Star Seraph and the Stellar Knights. They're able to throw out Shockmaster really quick. And if you guys don't know what the Star Seraphs do, I'll briefly look at the main ones that people are going to be playing, which is the Scepter and the Sovereign. And these cards basically run the deck. This is what makes the deck so much better. I'll briefly read their effects too, because I haven't really talked about them at all, and I haven't gotten any gameplay with them, but I will in the future really soon. So anyways, this is Star Seraph Scepter. His effect is, when this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Star Seraph monster from your deck to your hand, except for the same copy of himself. And it says an XYZ monster that was XYZ summoned using 3 or more monsters you control as material, including this card on the field, gains this effect. When this card is XYZ summoned, you can target 1 other card on the field, destroy that card, and if you do, you can draw 1 card. So not only do you get to get rid of an opponent's card, but then you get to draw a card. That's like +2 right there. And the next up we have Star Seraph Sovereign. His effect is that this card cannot be used as XYZ material for the XYZ summon of a monster that uses 3 or more, and Shockmaster qualifies for that, which is basically the card that runs really runs games in general, that uses 3 or more material. And then if you normal or special summon a Star Seraph monster or monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, draw 1 card. Then if it is a Star Seraph monster, you can special summon that monster from your hand. And basically this whole Star Seraphs revolve around like basically just being able to special summon a bunch of cards, and you don't really go minus in the deck, which is really good. Stellar Knights kind of revolve around the same thing. It's like if you control a Stellar Knight, you can do stuff, and then also you can special summon from the hand. It's basically just a rank 4 spam deck is what it comes down to. Also, if you really wanted to, you can maybe run like Kin Goldfish, Kagi, Tokagi, but it's going to be the same result. You're going to try to make this card over here, number 16, Shockmaster. His original name was it Conqueror of Colors, so it was a much cooler name, but if you guys don't know what this card does, because it is technically banned right now, but it might come back, who knows. This card definitely shuts down like so many decks. It's 3 level 4 monsters, and its effect is once per turn you can attach 1 material from this card to declare a 1 card type monster spell trap. That type of card, if spell or trap cannot be activated, or if monster cannot activate its effects until the end of your opponent's next turn. So basically that means you get to shut off all monster effects, which basically shuts down Shaddolls. But I feel like if Midrash comes out into the game, obviously they can't make Shockmaster. Shockmaster has 2300 attacks, so it is technically a little bit stronger. But there's always, if they happen to call monster effects, you can still, activate your Shaddol Fusion and still make this card, which is still a pretty good card. And obviously he won't get its effect, but that's kind of irrelevant because he's 28, and that just runs over Shockmaster. But the problem that Shaddolls will kind of face is that first off, when you're making all these Shaddolls over here, you won't be able to get their effects immediately, well, whatever you're using for the Shaddol Fusion. Because obviously they're going to be making Shockmaster. It's kind of, obviously they're going to go for this. Most likely they will call monster effects. I mean, they could technically call spells too, but I think it's more relevant to call monster effects, because that shuts down the Shaddol. If they go first turn, they go Shockmaster. At that point, you're going to have to set cards. Hopefully, you can get like a breakthrough skill. Every deck right now in the OCG is like always about breakthrough skill, and I understand why. Like, basically, Shockmaster just wrecks things, and same thing with Midrash. So you got to have breakthrough skills. You got to have some people. The guy that runs I think he got first place. I think he was running a breakthrough skill. No, he was running breakthrough skill. Everyone plays breakthrough skill, but I think he was running, yeah, 2 Forbidden Chalice, which might see some more play if we happen to run up against this card in the future in the TCG. This card, it shuts down a lot of interaction in the game, so it's kind of unfortunate sometimes when you get first turn Shockmaster. Like, if you get matched up against Spellbooks and you go ahead and make Shockmaster, you call spells, they literally can't do anything. It's just like game over straight up. It's just like, oh, unless they happen to be able to reveal 3 and go High Priestess. Very rarely will that ever happen, but you know, if it does happen, that sucks. But yeah, you're going to be going plus anyways with the Star Seraphs. The Stellar Knights, you can go like 1 for 2 basically. You can normal summon and special summon a Stellar Knight, but then only Stellar Knights can attack, so you won't be able to attack with that Star Seraph. But there's also another card that makes the Stellar Knights really, really amazing, and they're running 3 of these, which is really, this card is really OP. But anyways, it's basically a Infernity Barrier, if you will. It's when a spell card, trap card, or monster effect is activated, send 1 Stellar Knight monster you control to the graveyard. Negate that activation. If you do, destroy it, then draw 1 card. So if you happen to have, you know, extra Stellar Knights that you can just summon, because everything in this, you know, deck that's the Star Seraph Stellar Knights, all about to just spam a bunch of cards. If you get Torrential, yeah, it probably will suck, but if you happen to have this face down, this is going to be really good for you guys, because you're basically going to get anything and then draw a card. So basically it's like a 1-for-1, if you want to say it. That most things that are counter trap, they usually require some type of downside other than Wiretap. Wiretap doesn't really have a downside, but usually there's some type of downside when you're trying to negate, like, you know, spell traps or monster effects. You gotta discard a card and pay some life points or something like that. This really doesn't have a downside. I know you have to be able to send 1 Stellar Knight monster you control to the graveyard, but since you're drawing a card anyways, it's not really, you know, going minus with it. But the way I see it right now, I really feel like Shaddolls are still good. Someone's gonna be like, Asian, I stop talking about Shaddolls. They're not gonna be the best deck. I honestly still think that they are really, really high up there. But the problem is, like I said, Shockmaster will completely shut it down. But if this card is still going to be banned in the TCG, it's going to go back to Shaddolls, in my personal opinion. I mean, you guys can tell me what your thoughts are on this, but Midrash still shuts down things, and I feel like this becomes who can make Shockmaster first or who can make Midrash first. I mean, obviously they're also playing Soul Charge, which is really, really good in the game. Yeah, triple Soul Charge, and then we have 2 Soul Charge in the Shaddol deck. We'll have to see what happens to Soul Charge as well. We have 3 Soul Charge, and then we go to the Rulers, and we have 2 Soul Charge. So I mean, it's up to them as far as how many they want to play. The triple Soul Charge just becomes out of control in my opinion, because it's too fast and you'll just lose immediately to it. I mean, if you have a blank board, but if you have Midrash or if you have Shockmaster out, I mean, what are you going to do if they call monster effects? You're not going to be able to XYZ and get rid of Shockmaster anyways. But like I said, we'll have to wait and see what happens to Shockmaster, because I feel like this is basically what makes the Star Seraph Stellar Knights so much better, because if this card still stays banned, I really feel like I mentioned previously, Shaddolls will still be a higher tier deck. But I mean, Star Seraphs are not bad on their own. They're all about the you know, rank 4 spam deck, and they can make a lot more things, because they basically want you to use things that require 3 or more material. There's another Star Seraph card that's mediocre. I feel like it's just all about Shockmaster, as some of you guys, I don't know if you guys saw, but they're all running double Shockmaster. Well, most of them are. Let's see. This guy obviously has 2. Let's see. He's got no, this guy's, yeah, he's running 2 Shockmaster. This guy over here, he is running 1 Shockmaster Shaddolls, but the other Stellar Knight, he should be probably playing 2. I guess, yeah, he's playing 2 as well, because I've seen a few people play the Stellar Knights, and they just make Shockmaster, even though, like I said, sometimes they can't attack the same turn because of the Stellar Knight that they're using. But it's kind of irrelevant, because if you can't even play, it comes down to, do you happen to have something that can run over Shockmaster, which I think Lance would be a fantastic card to just be able to normal summon a monster, attack, drop a Lance, gets rid of Shockmaster, and then you just have to hope they can't make it again next turn, which more than likely they will probably be able to do it, because they don't really go minus with the Star Seraphs, and that really helps them out. But anyways, let me know what you guys think is going to be the best deck. Let's do it 2 ways actually, because it really comes down to if Shockmaster gets unbanned. Let me know what you guys think is going to be the best deck if Shockmaster stays banned, and let me know what you think is going to be the best deck if Shockmaster becomes unbanned, because I feel like I mentioned like already, Shockmaster is going to be the key card in the Star Seraph Stellar Knight deck that makes it so good. But Shaddolls at least made it to top 4. But anyways, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. But thanks for watching, guys. Azneyeswhite out.